Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today's video is going to be the monthly TBR video. It's that time again. It is time to choose our monthly TBR, and this month it is November, which is quite literally crazy. I can't remember what the first TBR jar video I did was on this channel. I think it was in the summer, and that seems to have like flown by, so kind of crazy. I think my first actual TBR video was June, and now we're in November. That's insane. So you might be thinking, why is there no TBR cart? Where is the TBR cart? And just because of how it has worked out this month, my TBR cart is actually over in my university room. So she's not here with us today. She's not here with us, and I am sad about that, but it's fine. We're just gonna switch things up just for the sake of today's video, we're gonna have to do things a little bit differently, and we're gonna have to improvise, but I'm still gonna be picking a TBR, we're still gonna be running through our books, and it's still gonna be a fun time. It's still gonna be a fun time. We just don't have the physical TBR cart with us today, but I will like pop pictures of the books that I'm choosing on the screen. And how I'm gonna do it is I'm basically going to put up 2 pictures of all the books I have on my TBR, how they're like presented in my uni room. They're kind of like stacks, rainbow stacks, and there's 2 stacks. So random number generator is going to choose a number for me, and then I will count down from the stacks and we'll see which number it lands on, and that is going to be the book that is added to the monthly TBR. As per usual, I am only going to be picking 6 books. Not only, that is still like a lot of books, but I am going to be choosing 6 books because that just works for me. It kind of gives me freedom to choose other books if I do end up reading the whole 6 books. And I feel like it's more of an achievable number for me. I would like to choose 8, but at the moment, definitely 6 is my limit. So yeah, we're going to pop the pictures on the screen of the books, and we're going to count down from where the random number generator chooses for us, and hopefully we get some good books. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some, like, I'm not sure what mood I'm in. I think maybe perhaps some thrillers. I think I have like 1 thriller on my TBR, so the chance is pretty slim that I will get that one, and maybe some fantasy as well. I'm really in a fantasy mood right now. I've got that itch to continue with the Throne of Glass series. I am up to Heir of Fire, and I just really want to read it right now. Like, I crave reading the Throne of Glass series so much. I just want to be back in that world. So yeah, I hope that you all had a great reading month in the month of October. I hope that you read some cozy reads, maybe some spooky reads, because that is the season for that. Let me know what your favourite books were, what your least favourite books were, because I'm always interested about that. And yeah, I hope that you had a great reading month. Without further ado, let's get into today's video and choose our November TBR. So I've actually just counted it up, and I have 27 books on my current TBR, which I feel like, I'm not sure if that's like a good or bad number, but on the pictures that I have, there is a few that I have actually already read in the recent weeks, so I am just gonna like scribble them out, and if we land on that, we'll just go to the next one after that, you know. Let's pop this into the random number generator. I've actually not read that many books in October. I feel like I've been in a bit of a slump, so hopefully this month is gonna be better. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Okay, so let's spin. We've got 1 to 27 options for the number. 8. Okay, that's a good number. So now, as you'll see, we've got the pictures on the screen. We're going to count down 8. So we're only really going to be in the first stack for this pick, which is my favourite stack. It's very bright, very colourful. It kind of looks the most colour organised. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we've landed on The Outsider by Stephen King. This one has been on my TBR, and this is going to sound absolutely insane, but it has actually been on my TBR for, I think, 4 years. So this is probably the oldest book that I have not read that I own on my TBR. I basically bought it when I was like in my really tiny reading phase in lockdown, and I kind of was just buying random books as and when, and then reading them, and then I'd buy another one, read that. Like, I didn't really know what was what, but I just knew that Stephen King was a popular author, obviously, so I was just like picking some of his, and then I'd read a few of his at that point, and then I think it came to this one and I just like stopped reading at that time. And yeah, I've still not read it, so I feel like it's about time I actually sit down and read this book. It's just, yeah, it needs to happen. So The Outsider basically follows a man who has been accused of murder, and he is just adamant he did not do it. It doesn't add up, you know, and he's like, no, this was not me, I was not there, I don't know what's happening, why me? And he's kind of being pinned for the murder of, I think, like a little boy, and he's like obviously going through it because he did not do it, or he's saying he did not do it, and we're just following that. We're trying to find out who actually did it, or if it was this guy. So it's like crime, thriller, suspense all in one, and kind of like all the evidence that is accumulating is pointing towards this guy, and this guy is a very nice, likable guy of the town. Everyone likes him. He's like just your typical citizen of the town. He's got kids, he's got a wife, he's got, I think he teaches at a school maybe, and yeah, all the evidence is pointing towards him, but we're trying to find out if it is him or not. And I think that just, that whole premise is just really interesting, and I feel like it's going to be a wild ride, but it's going to be fun, or maybe not fun, but it's definitely going to be like intense, and it's going to get the brain working. So I'm very glad that I got this one in today's TBR. I need, if I do not read this book this month, then permission to call me out. Okay, let's spin. I don't know if you can actually see the screen. There's quite like a bad glare right now. We got one. That one is such like, literally we don't even have to count. I already know what is at the top of the list, but just to make absolute certain, yep, it is. We have Love in Other Words by Christina and Lauren. I think that they're two authors. Yeah, I've read a few books by them before. I think I read The Soulmate Equation. Is that by them? I think I read that one. Is that the only one I've actually read? I think that actually is the only book I've ever read by them, but I did enjoy it. It was like a fun time, just like wasn't anything memorable to me. But this book is so widely talked about, it is so popular, everyone seems to know it, everyone seems to absolutely love it. I feel like anyone who has read it like regards it so highly. However, I'm not really sure it matches the season that we're in. It kind of gives me like spring summer vibes. So this basically is kind of like a second chance, friends to lovers, childhood friends to lovers romance book, and I think it flips between past and present timelines. I have heard it is very, very similar to Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, or that book is similar to this book, and I have read Every Summer After. So this book basically follows Elliot and Macy, and they kind of grew up together as like childhood best friends. I think in like a holiday home, I believe it's that kind of setting, like Every Summer After, and they basically grew up as best friends, just having like the best summers together, growing up alongside each other. And then I think something really bad happens where it makes them not speak for years and years, and then she basically runs into him as an adult, and it kind of throws her back to that time and what went wrong, and they're basically rebuilding their relationship. So it's definitely second chance, and I think it sounds like a really fun time. It sounds really good. I am excited to read it, but I am kind of nervous purely for the fact that it's so widely well regarded that if I don't like it, I'm going to be a bit disappointed and a bit let down, because it's just, I've just seen so many good reviews about it. But I'm going to go in with an open mind, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I will enjoy it. Okay, we need to spin again for our third book. Ooh, 13, unlucky number 13. Let's actually see what this gives us, because I feel like 13 is an unlucky number stereotypically. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, next stack, 12, 13. So we've got The Risk by L. Kennedy. I have like not counted obviously the ones that we've just got given or the ones I have already read on this stack. I've just kind of gone past those. So we've got The Risk by L. Kennedy, and this one I've been saying I'm gonna read for months and months and months upon end. I feel like it's appeared in a few TBR jar videos, and yes, I've still not got round to it, as it always goes, but I want to. That's not that I don't want to read this book, because I really do. Like, it's very high up there on my TBR. But this one is the second book in the Briar U series, which is an ice hockey college romance series, and it is a spin-off of the Off Campus series, which I've not read, but I read the first book in the Briar U series and I enjoyed it. I didn't really feel like I was not having as good a time because I'd not read Off Campus. I will go back and read that series, but for now, like, I don't think it really matters too much. So this one follows the main character in the first book's best friend, and I think it's kind of like a rivals to lovers, enemies to lovers vibe. The love interest in the second book is basically team captain for the rival hockey team, I think. Could be so wrong there, but I think it is. And I really enjoyed the whole friend group, the whole setting of book one. I think that the found family in it was good, the college vibes was good, and for me, I don't know why, but I like correlate ice hockey with winter. I think it's just the ice. But yeah, I think this is like the perfect book to read right now, and the writing style is so easy to digest. It's like so, it just feels like you're not reading a book. It feels like you're like watching a reality TV show. We need to spin for our fourth book today. Okay, we've got 9. I feel like we're not getting high numbers. We're kind of not breaking into the 20s section. Okay, so we've got to count 9. I don't think we're going to leave the first stack. That's another thing. We're really not leaving the first stack today, which is interesting. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes! We've got probably one of my most anticipated reads on the entire TBR, and that is The Girls by Emma Cline. So ever since reading Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, which I absolutely loved, 5-star read for me, I've kind of been on the hunt for more books similar to that, like real life retellings of real life events, but with a complete twist where it's kind of told from a woman's point of view. I've been on the hunt for more books like that because Bright Young Women was genuinely so well done, and yeah, I've been on the hunt for more books like this. And then I was in Waterstones just kind of browsing, and on one of the tables it was The Girls, and I'd never heard of this book before, never seen it before. Maybe I'm just living under a rock. So I obviously had to pick it up, and I'm very excited to finally get round to it because I just think, yeah, it's been, I don't know why I've not picked it up yet, because I did buy it in summer, so it's about time. So I'll read like a bit of the blurb for this one. It says, Northern California, during the violent end of the 1960s, at the start of the summer, a lonely teenager, Evie, sees a group of girls in the park and is immediately caught by their freedom, their careless dress, their dangerous aura of abandon. Soon Evie is enthralled to Suzanne, a mesmerising older girl, and is drawn into the circle of a soon-to-be infamous cult, and the man who is its charismatic leader. Hidden in the hills, their sprawling ranch is eerie and run down, but to Evie it is exotic, thrilling, charged, a place where she feels desperate to be accepted, as she spends more time away from her mother and the rhythms of her daily life, and as her obsession with Suzanne intensifies, Evie does not realise she is coming closer and closer to unthinkable violence, and to that why can I not read sometimes? And that moment in a girl's life when everything can go horribly wrong. And the genres it comes under are fiction, historical fiction, contemporary, literary fiction, historical, adult coming of age, thriller, adult fiction. 2 more to go. What are these books going to be? I feel like so far it's an achievable TBR. I feel like I could read all of the books on this TBR so far, which is obviously always the vibe because, like I said, I've been slumping and I don't want to be getting like massive thick books if I can't actually read them. Let's spin. I really hope you can see the screen. $18, okay, slightly higher number. Let's see what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, stop. We've got Air of Fire. We have got Air of Fire. Did I not say at the start that I'm craving reading the Throne of Glass series, and then I've just been given Air of Fire? This is beautiful. I'm so happy with this. I think this is the one I'm gonna like immediately start reading ASAP because I can't wait. I love this series so much so far, and I obviously love ACOTAR. I love Sarah J Maas's writing, and I just really want to get deeper into the Throne of Glass series because I feel like that's when we're going to start picking up. Things are going to start getting crazy. We're going to get more characters introduced, more POVs. We're going to be really stuck in there, and that's when I'm going to be so in love with the story and I won't want to put the books down. I am also kind of trying to line up the bigger books with my Christmas break from uni because uni students basically get like the longest amount of time off at Christmas, and all of my deadlines are kind of mid-December, so once they're done I'm kind of just like I have more freedom to read whenever, and I'm kind of trying to line up that time frame with the really massive thick books, and specifically the tandem read. I'd love to be able to get that done in my break from uni. That would be just phenomenal. I would love to get that done. Don't even get me started on Kingdom of Ash because that book is a wreck. So yeah, there's not really too much I can say about Air of Fire. It is the 4th book in the series. I did Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and then Air of Fire I'm gonna do now. There's not much I can say because obviously it is part of a series and I don't want to spoil anything, but just know that this series has got so much going on. If you haven't read it yet, please, please, please read it. I'm so happy we got that book, if you couldn't tell. And now we need to pick our 6th book today, which is the final book of this TBR. Let's give it a spin. My lucky number is actually 14, weirdly, so imagine if we got 14. I thought we was going to get 14. We got 15, which is still a bit crazy. That's like 1 off of 14. Is this laptop listening to me? Okay, let's count down 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Another very, very lucky pick. We have got Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, and at the start I literally said I wanted to get a thriller and that I have one thriller on my TBR, and we've just got it. We've just got that. The TBR gods have spoken today. So this book is a very, from what I've heard from other people, is like a very gory, crazy, lots of stuff going on thriller, and that kind of feels quite intense, but I'm here for it and I'm ready to read it. I've heard that it's like captures your attention from the get-go. It's very sort of lots of stuff going on. We've got like crazy plot, and I don't actually know too much about it, as you can probably tell by that horrible description, but I think that's the best way about going into a thriller, if I'm being honest. But I think it is about sisters, and I think one sister goes missing and we're kind of trying to find out why, when, where, who type of thing. And that concludes our 6 books for this month's TBR. So let's just do a quick roundup. First things first, we got The Outsider by Stephen King, which has been on my TBR for way too long and I need to get to it. If I don't get to it, permission to just be like, you need to read that book right now. Have you read that book? Then we got Love and Other Words, which is kind of not really the vibe of the season that we're going into, but I'm still excited for it nonetheless. Very popular BookTok book, need to get round to it, and I think it's good to have a little bit of romance on your TBR. Then we have The Risk by Elle Kennedy. This is book 2 in the Briar U series, and I need to continue this series. I have too many series that I've not finished yet, and this is one of them, so I just need to get back into it. I love the whole vibe of it. I love a college ice hockey romance, and this one is perfect for that. Then we have The Girls by Emma Cline. This one is a sort of based off of real life events loosely, and I'm very excited. It's been on my TBR for way too long. I'm very excited to get to it, and I think it's going to be quite an intriguing, interesting book, and if I like it, I want to check out this author's other works because she seems like she's going to be the same type of vibe of as Jessica Knoll, who I really love the same writing style as. Then we have the one that I actually said I wanted to get this month, which is Heir of Fire. I'm so unbelievably excited for this book. I cannot wait to read it. I can't wait to dip my toes back into the Throne of Glass series. I won't say too much more because I feel like I've rambled on and on and on about that series, but I'm so excited. And then last but not least, we have Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, which, like I said as well at the start, I really wanted to get the only thriller I have on my TBR, and I actually got it. So don't know what's going on there. I've got 2 books that I really wanted to read, but yeah, I'm very excited for that. Heard it's very intense, a wild ride, and I'm ready for that. So thank you so much for watching today's TBR video. Let me know what's on your TBRs. Let me know what books you're very excited to get round to in the month of November, or if you have any like Christmassy recommendations, I would love to know those as well, because I actually have no Christmas books and I would love to get some for December. Thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys.